This is State of Michigan versus Tavion Calhoun, case 2405604-201. Today is the date set for a bond redetermination hearing. Can I have appearances, please?
Good morning, Judge. Again, always a privilege. Steve Benson for the people, P71917.
Once again, Your Honor, Philip Reagan on behalf of Mr. Calhoun. Way up, well, Judge, he's here for bond redetermination.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Calhoun, sir, could you state your name for the record, please?
Tavion Devontae Calhoun.
All right, thank you, Mr. Calhoun. Today is the date set for the bond redetermination hearing. Bond is set as an intentionally unaffordable cash bond at this point. Mr. Reagan as to bond.
Judge, Mr. Calhoun is 29, does have some previous convictions, Judge, does have a prior home invasion and retail fraud. I just want to be honest about that. He just got his probation reinstated the other day, Judge, for an operating while intoxicated case. So he got that reinstated, so he's on probation, receives SSI, doesn't have any children, Judge, lives in the Metro Detroit area. Obviously, Judge, the home invasion case, it's a serious case. The bond is $30,000, Judge. I think that if you have no contact, you have a tether, and you have house arrest because there's no work here. Mr. Calhoun's not working, so he doesn't need to leave the house. I think a less restrictive measure other than incarceration could be, Judge, in this case, a personal bond with the tether and the house arrest, complete house arrest, Judge. He understands he's not to have contact, go back to the location where these alleged incidents occurred. But again, there are still allegations, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vincent.
Judge, well, let's be super honest with you here. The defendant's on probation right now for two different offenses. For that OWI offense that he had already spent jail on, as well as a drug offense that he ended up pleading to, which is still active. Actually, Judge, within the last year and a half, he's been convicted of 5 offenses. 4 of which he's ended up spending jail time on, and I actually added them all up and divided by 4, average of 62 days in jail for each one of those offenses. And then, Judge, by the way, within the last month, he ended up pleading to an assault that was pled down to from a robbery, as well as a fleeing and eluding from Toledo, Ohio. And at sentencing, he failed to appear. So on top of the dangerous component that we have here, we have a flight risk. And I'm sure Your Honor ended up reading the allegations. We have an address from this individual in Ohio. We have an address here in Michigan. I mean, he's just on a spree, with all due respect, Judge. Within a year and a half, he has 5 convictions, and he pleaded to fail to appear on. Judge, I mean, what you and I and everybody else look at is a robbery charge being one of the highest offenses that you can be charged with, let alone being convicted of. And then, Judge, we have the allegations of an individual who, let himself into a house that wasn't his. There's a young girl who's scared. There's a mom who's scared. He doesn't belong there. And then, there's gasoline or whatever it is that they were talking about in the investigations, Judge. I mean, clearly he's a danger. I'm going to ask for a cash bond, Judge. I just think that at the present time, he poses a danger to this community, maybe to other communities, because allegedly he's committed crimes there where he's pled to. So respectfully, Judge, we're just going to ask you to continue this.
Judge, he's got the cash bond. Just briefly, Judge, I'm hearing what Mr. Vincent said. I don't know anything about robberies or anything like that, but I do know that this, obviously is serious. And I think that the court with the tether and house arrest could solve that issue. Yes, he has priors. He's receiving SSI. He's back on probation, so he's being monitored by the probation department as well. And they have certain conditions that he has to abide by. If he doesn't, he violates that and goes to jail. But I think right now, Judge, with the tether and house arrest, you could make sure that he doesn't go back to that location, nor to any other location, because house arrest means you stay in the house. You don't get a chance to get out and drive or walk to the store. You don't get those options when you're on house arrest, Judge.
And Judge, I know you don't
sorry,
like
no, Mr. Vincent.
Sorry.
Stop. I'm looking at previous history as well as the the allegations that were set forth in this. And Mr. Vincent, you called this a robbery. But it looks like, at least according to the allegations, the defendant had a specific purpose of coming to that house. It was alleged that he was asking for his mail. Then it's alleged at some point after the complainant, fear for her safety and the safety of her child, locks herself in a bedroom, realizes that someone is in that house, and possibly did something to the gas to cause her eyes to water. I'm not convinced that a non-cash effort would prevent Mr. Calhoun from coming back to that address. And this, on top of that, it sounds like there has been at least an occasion where the defendant missed a sentencing on a felony matter in a different jurisdiction. I am inclined to keep the bond where it's at. I believe that there's preponderance of evidence that the defendant is a flight risk in this situation, and I don't believe that a non-cash restriction would prevent him from not showing up to court. So I'm going to keep the bond where it's at this point.
Thank you, Judge. And I just have to let you know this, and I apologize. I may have confused you. The robbery and fleeing and eluding, that was the Toledo, Ohio incident.
Oh,
that was one that he just ended up, he just pled to that one, but he failed to appear at sentencing. I didn't mean to misrepresent to this court that there was a robbery that took place here. This is the home invasion.
So he pled on a robbery in Ohio?
And the funny thing was, and I know Mr. Reagan, and I take him at his word, even though it's kind of, I don't know, how to take this. I tried to tell him about this yesterday, in regards to these cases. I think he was busy. He was juggling the felony arraignment.
So Mr. Benson, I'm sorry to cut you off, but did he plead to the robbery in Ohio, or is that just the original charge and pled to the fleeing and eluding?
No, he ended up, the original charge was robbery. It got pled down to an assault, but then he had a fleeing and eluding charge on top of that he ended up pleading to. So he pled on the nose to the fleeing and eluding, and then the robbery got pled down to an assault. And then he was on a cash bond, but then he pled, so it was converted to a personal, and then he failed to appear at sentencing.
I'm sorry, everyone. That's enough. Let me give you guys the next date.
Okay.
Oh, I just wanted to clear that up. Sorry.
That's the one thing with this judge versus Mechanico, because this is actually Mechanico's personal meeting room, and he'll come later. But this Judge Williams, won't let these two go on forever. Judge Mechanico, I think he enjoys watching the banter between these two. And these guys, they're so much like brothers, just back and forth. And it's very entertaining to watch. But this judge actually just cuts them off. He's like, nope, you're done. I'm done. I got my ruling already.
Even though I don't
Judge Williams.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Judge Williams. I feel that I'm not a flight risk. I'm not a flight risk. Like I just wanted to leave on at least tether or get a personal bond, because I do have another case out in Toledo. I didn't make the case in Toledo because I didn't get my mail and my ID. They wouldn't let me leave Michigan. Well, I couldn't leave Michigan without getting my check and stuff to go back to Toledo. So
that's one of the issues with this case, Judge. His mail was going to that address.
Yeah, my mail was going to that address, and that was my whole thing about going to that address.
Judge,
So both of you.
Right.
I made my ruling. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Let me get you the next day.
Thank you, Judge.
Attorney Reagan.
Hold on one second.
Okay, Mr. Calhoun, your next date is a probable cause conference, March 15th, 2024, before Judge Sabri. And then that's followed by a preliminary exam, March 22nd, before Judge Sabri as well. All right, and that concludes this hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm coming,
Yeah.
Mr. Perkins, I'm just gonna come upstairs for a second and they can bring Mr. Jackson.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Calhoun. Your lawyer's going to be able to come see you shortly. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Reagan. I was wondering, why couldn't I get
We're still on
You want me to
YouTube.
put you on breakout room, Phil?
Can put me in a breakout real quick,
Oh,
Marcia.
I can't. Judge Williams got, didn't make
Okay.
it go.
I'm gonna try to come down. Hold on. You're not co-host? Okay.
No, Judge Williams took it,
Okay. You can't cut the YouTube off?
oh, I can't do nothing because he the host.
Okay. Well, let's start this. I'm gonna try to come down.
Now, I promise, just trust me on this. There's some dead space that I did not cut out. Just trust me. Let's go for this little ride because you're going to enjoy it.
Morning, Judge.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, Marcy, how you doing? Well, you guys can sit down. It's all good. Is he talking with the last person in the breakout room?
Yeah.
Okay. And is Jackson in that same jail?
But it worked for some. It worked for some.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta go cover some of my other cases. But I'll be back in 10 minutes. I gotta cover other cases. No problem. He's still talking with the last gentleman, so they got the camera.
Oh, okay. Wow. Nice showing. 6 months. First sense of this. Not relying on judge that may have motive. And I love Judge Willis, I'm not saying anything, but when you do your voir dire to the best of your ability, you're counting on those individuals because you picked them, and now it's all you. Now it's all you, or it's all me. It's all the story. It's so pure. It's the story. It's so pure. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think Judge, I don't know if you were on the phone or not, he said like 10 minutes.
I heard that part. I'm talking about,
Okay.
man, you still want to talk to me? Went in, come.
I don't know, because I'm surprised that Ohio didn't come back. What was that? How first?
So let me drop this.
Yeah.
I tell my man Calhoun waiting to talk to me.
Which one? Oh, this one? This one? No, the land.
What's up, brother Calhoun?
Yeah.
He seriously cried, if that's what you call it, and then looked up to check, are they looking at me? Oh, they're not? Okay, I give up for now. And a little while later, he tried it again. And because they weren't looking at him, he gave up. Like, okay, the whole crying bit only works if, one, it's genuine. And if it's not genuine, you can't check to see if they're looking at you. Yeah. Yeah, that was so funny. Oh my gosh. And it gets funnier.
Mr. Reagan, man, they saying that I broke into the house.
I didn't break in the house. You went to get the mail.
Yeah.
It was all yes.
Phil, I'm about to put you in the breakout room.
Okay, I understand, good brother.
Yeah, and they said I broke into the house and I was running around trying to
Hey,
find.
Phil, you know, I can hear all of this, Phil.
I'm putting them in the breakout room. Hold on.
So inappropriate.
Go score my mail. Oh, okay, cool. Well, the
Don't
judge
take
stepped
offense
away.
to that. I'm just doing that for you for your case.
The
Just
judge
wait
stepped away
for your lawyer.
But I'm gonna let you in. So as soon as the judge stuff comes back, okay, because he has retained counsel. Okay.
Man.
Kill.
Hey, yo, right here. Hey, right here. He trying to
Yeah, be reasonable. I know where you're going.
It's not over.
See, I think he's either just waving away or he's trying to get yours.
Me? Yes. Yes.
I was trying to see if I was gonna talk to my lawyer.
I mean, I could go into outside the hall.
Zoom in.
Yeah.
I'll put you in the breakout room.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna go in the hallway and zoom in, because he's actually in the courtroom. Then I'll put you guys in the breakout room.
There you go.
I'm supposed to stay in Ohio to the 28th and to the 28th. But I left Ohio on the 19th because I didn't have no cash. You got to pay to get around in Ohio. They don't got regular transportation in Ohio like Michigan. So I came from Ohio, I came to Michigan to pick up my check to go back to Ohio. When I arrived at the address, there was no mail in the mailbox. There was somebody walking around the house. And I got my check on first. I swear to God on my mom, on my dad's grave.
This defendant and that public defender sure wants prosecution to hear his story very inappropriately. Like, I've never seen this. And I turned the audio up just slightly so y'all could hear what he was saying a little better, but I did not enhance it very much. Like most stuff I have to enhance at a minimum like 9, usually more in the range of like 11 to 15 when I do audio enhancement. I only had to turn his up to like 4.5-ish. Like, he wants prosecution to hear it. And that was twice prior to this that his public defender was not only letting him talk about his case, but almost encouraging it. I'm baffled by this. I'm baffled by this one.
Well, and sorry, how I get to find out is the. All right, thank you. He said, you going to on the market for all. You won't I tell you. I should all had it basically saying I chasing the little girl. And then there's something in the house. You know that. Police would have said that. They try to get rid of that before they looking around the house. It's mud all around the house. I got a big ass roof. If I even set foot in the house, with the mud in the house everywhere. So where the evidence that I was in the house? And they said I kicked the dog out. Where's the wood and the nails and shit? Why? That's the storm though. Yeah, you know what I'm